So Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, had an hour-long conference call meeting with Cato Institute about money, about the monetary policy, and they talked about a whole range of things. I watched the whole video. It's a little bit boring, but I wanted to bring to you the highlights on specifically cryptocurrency. So I'll be making two of these videos. He talks about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and then cryptocurrencies as separate. And so this video will be regarding the cryptocurrencies and his thoughts on how the government should be stepping in, what's their role in all of this, how do they stand in innovation and all that stuff. Now, if you want to know what Cato actually is all about, because I had no idea what Cato was. Right here it says the vision of Cato Institute is to create free, open, and civil societies founded on libertarian principles. So he's coming from a side like very pro crypto. Let's play this video here because I think it's rather interesting, and we'll stop and start and like react to this as I watch it.
But without debating the merits or future of cryptocurrencies generally, or one or another crypto products, I'll say that in the monetary arena, Cato stands for nothing if not a desire to see more interest in monetary policy, to see more people concerned about our discretionary fiat system. And also we want to see private market innovation and experimentation in developing alternatives. And crypto is just such a great example of this.
Okay, so basically he's saying that we are looking for innovation in the monetary policy. We're looking for people to be more interested in fiat, into like how it all works and all of it. And I don't know if you caught it, but he touched his eyebrow. I consider that a tell, like he's getting uncomfortable. Actually, when this gentleman presses the advance and keeps on talking about how he's disappointed in governments that step in towards cutting innovation, Jerome Powell takes another tell. I want you to check it out. He scratches his chin. You tell me if I'm reading too much into this, but I think he's uncomfortable because cryptocurrency is strictly, and he knows it, Jerome Powell knows it, that cryptocurrency is the antithesis of the Federal Reserve, a centralized bank or a decentralized system. And watch this.
There's a long history of government and regulation thwarting such innovation and experimentation, which we find really disappointing. So I wonder if you could respond to these kinds of concerns, namely that regulators might ultimately strangle crypto to the extent that it really does develop into a viable alternative system.
All right, you see that? You see that? He scratched his face, he's scratching it. I might be reading too much into it. I don't think so. I can tell when someone's feeling uncomfortable because they're pressing the advance, because cryptocurrency is a juxtaposed towards the Federal Reserve and everything it stands for. And this is from a libertarian mindset. I'm not trying to get into politics here, but I do think that the monetary system should be experimented with. There's some there's some innovation that can come upon us. And so here's Jerome Powell's his thoughts on cryptocurrency.
So I'll talk about it in two pieces. One is unbacked cryptocurrencies as such, and those have not and don't appear to offer, have not offered and don't appear to offer much in the way of public interest in using them as payments. Let's say it's not a great store of value. What it is a speculative asset. It's not backed by anything.
There could be an argument that that's still during the development phase, and that it's something that we could see emerge. But
yes,
yet as it may.
And I also have close-in family members who offer that perspective vigorously. So, as you suggest. But stablecoins is a different thing, and the question is, are there forms of private money like stablecoins which can play a role in our financial system, which would, and the answer is, of course, that we don't want to stand in the way of appropriate innovation, particularly including, digital innovation. But we think that something like that, which is, purporting to be money, would need to be appropriately regulated. And I hear that wide agreement on that, by the way, from a lot of the stablecoin companies now are seeing that as part of getting to a place where they are a legitimate part of the financial system. So I think you need regulation. If people are going to think something is money, then it needs to actually have the qualities of money. And if it doesn't, then you don't want. I don't think you want to take money and make it into just another consumer product where sometimes it fails and sometimes it's good. You want it to be guaranteed to be good. If the public's going to look at it like it was a dollar, you want to have clarity, transparency. You want to have full reserves of very liquid, high quality assets, and things like that. That's all. So I think that we need legislation on this. Just, it's typical of technological innovations. There isn't a regulatory framework that really gets after payment stable coins. And so I think that's what's needed. But I wouldn't think of us as being opposed to that kind of innovation. We're more the people who are saying, among others, that we need appropriate regulation.
Okay, pause, Jerome Powell. He said that he doesn't want to stand in the way of appropriate innovation, whatever he deems appropriate. I don't trust that at all. Okay, I don't like the word. It seems to me like, okay, we're going to investigate here and how much is going to go into it. And then he says these three things that I picked up. I don't know if you caught it. If people are transacting and are seeing something as a form of money, there should be clarity, there should be transparency, and there should be liquid reserves. Where is that right now? Okay, where is that right now in our current system? There is no clarity. How can we send billions of dollars overseas for whatever reason to just vanish? No clarity, no transparency. Who knows how any of this is taught? If people were taught basic economics in school, okay, there would be so much less confusion. There would be people who would be more financially free, more financially well off. But that's not true, and there'd be more people very angry about the current system that we have right now. Don't even get me with reserves. The Federal Reserve is not federal and has no reserves. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they're basically talking about stablecoins. He separates the two into either one, the technology thing that's not has no use case, is technology, speculative asset, has no backing, not a good store of value. Okay, basically talking about Bitcoin, probably talking about Ethereum and all these other little altcoins, and then he's talking about stablecoins. So he split Bitcoin and all altcoins, and then there's stablecoins. He's more concerned with the stablecoins, which I think that's true. I do think that he should be very, very concerned with Bitcoin because that'll put him out of the job eventually, or him or his, people who come after him. However, I partially agree with that. There should be repercussions or some kind of guardrails for these stable coins. Otherwise, you got these Luna crashes happening, and there's no repercussions for it, and there 100% should be. However, when we are talking about freedom, we are also talking about risk, okay? When we start to infringe on our freedom at the mercy of safety, okay, we give up our freedoms for safety, and security. That means people take our freedoms. That means the governments and its feds and stuff like that. And this is the type of video that's going to get me shadow banned. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. They want clarity, transparency, and reserves, and they want that. They make those demands from stablecoin, and yet they don't have that in their system right now. In the current fiat system, we don't have that. We have lack of clarity of how the whole financial system works. We have lack of transparency on where we are going to push money out into the world, and we have a lack of reserves when you could just hit a button, print magically trillions of dollars. Well, I don't even know why we should even be taxing right now. Why should we even tax people when we could just print more money? It doesn't make sense. Let me just know what you think about Jerome Powell squirming in his seat about cryptocurrencies and his questioning about stablecoin. It wasn't even that hard questioning, but I just know that this is very against what the Fed is and how they're demanding clarity, transparency, and reserves when they don't even provide that themselves. If you like this type of video, if you're feeling generous, give me a like on this video, subscribe, and join the Discord. That's the saloon where I think the number one thing you could do is put a community around yourself of cowboys who are just trying to make some money like you. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.